I am living a movie. At least that's what it seems like. It feels like reading the Bible. It'll show you the big, broad overview of what everyone did in that time, how these stories connect together, what parables you're supposed to be looking at. You're looking at a big body of work, reading the Bible, and getting a understanding of someone's life, someone's interaction with everyone they've come in contact with, the wives that they had, the children that they had, their parents. What did their parents do? What did their children do? Were their children pieces of crap? Or were their children destined to be kings? You don't know. You don't know while you're in the middle of your movie. The credits haven't rolled yet. You haven't been buried or reclaimed by the earth or falling in war or being frozen in the ice or drowning in the ocean. You don't know when those credits are going to start rolling down on your life, on your movie. There's so many characters in everyone's movie. The credits would seem to go on forever, but people tend to have an obituary. Like, these were the people that I was closest to, and this person begat that person and had this person and lived for this many years, just like it says in Numbers. But in your obituary, it says all of that stuff. Who's married to who who are your grandchildren, who are your great grandchildren, who are your great great grandchildren. That's if you really lasted for a long time. Not many people do. It's actually a curse upon you that you can only get to live 120 years, because so many before you, they either tainted their blood or they went against the Father's word. They couldn't stay on point. But not staying on point for hundreds of years, it's like the Father is like, what, we got to get some resets. I'm tired of hitting a reset button on the world over and over and over and over again. Like, for what? What am I getting out of this? That's what I would think the Father is saying. Like, what am I getting out of this? I keep hitting the reset button. I keep giving them the rule book, but over time they lose their way. They stop figuring out that, oh, through me is the way to the kingdom. I'm training you for something. I can't tell you what that training is for, but you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to suffer and deal with everything that's going on to get you to this place, to make it into my kingdom. You have that opportunity to be the hero of your own movie. I think that's the quote that Joe Rogan used to say on his podcast: be the hero in your own movie. That's what those people that made it in the Bible, that's what they were doing. But they didn't know that other people would be watching hundreds of years, thousands of years later. Eventually, it's going to be millions of years later. Like, what are we doing now? This interaction here where I spew my thoughts out of my mouth, record them, upload them to the internet, hoping that my children, my grandchildren, my great great grandchildren, their great great grandchildren will look back and see what I did. Maybe somebody will turn this into a book. Maybe somebody will actually turn this into a movie. 'Cause I've done some interesting things over my life. It's almost like a boomerang effect where I started off being brought up in the church, but being young, having freedom, I found my way to so many different other things. There was the wild time, the driving fast time, uh, the womanizing time. There was the business creation time. There was working for various different companies or where the sky was the limit. But no, I was still holding on to my youth. I wanted to see where my athleticism was going to get me. Was I going to get that golden ticket? Was I going to be able to punch that and make it to the NFL? No, I was too short to be an offensive lineman, uh, too slow to be a fullback. So that wasn't the way. So then it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll try this fighting thing. Mixed martial arts. I'll go step in a cage for a little bit. Fell in love with it. Dedicated my life to it. But those different parallels of while I'm on this pathway trying to become the best fighter I can be, there's so many different things in life that's going on. There's child support, there's family members with health problems, there's trying to maintain a place to live, there's bills to be paid, there's all this other stuff while I'm still trying to focus on this goal of becoming the best fighter that I can be. There's trying to find what love is. There's trying to figure out what being a man is. There's so many different things that I couldn't focus on what my ultimate goal was because all of these different distractions, trying to, like, is this woman a wife? Is this woman a wife? Is this woman a wife? I don't need any of that. I'm focusing on this goal. Then something will pop up again. Then completely distract me. Couldn't stay focused. Didn't have the opportunity to stay focused. It's something that I always looked at and wished that there was something that I could do for that future generation, for those that wanted to say, I want to go down that pathway. Well, I have the skills, I don't have the money yet. I have space and opportunity. I don't have a building yet. Want something like the BMF Ranch. No, Cowboy Cerrone, he has, I think it's out in Colorado. I don't know how many acres he has, but he has a facility there that's invite only, and the best of the best go train there where they don't have to worry about anything. That's what I want to do, what I want to provide. But also with that thought pattern right there, there's still different things that I have to figure out. I have my camp, I have my tribe, I have my household, I have my wife, I have my sons, I have my animals. It's all these different distractions. I'm trying to build up people that want to learn this type of violence, whether it's for fitness or maybe one day they want to compete. Who knows? It takes a strong mindset to say, hey, I am going to schedule this bout. I'm going to sign a contract that indemnifies people, meaning the organization, in case you die in that cage. We don't got nothing to do with it. That was your choice alone. So if you make it out, good, we'll pay you. If you don't, ah, Well, we got EMS standing by. They can take you to a hospital. Hopefully you'll survive. Thank you for making our show awesome. That's what you got to deal with. Shoot, there were times that when I was in a cage in the middle of a fight, and I'm wondering if I left laundry in the washing machine. Because once this fight is over and then I end up going home after I have my one Bailey's Irish cream, will those clothes that I left in the washing machine, will they be moldy? Oh crap, I just got punched in the face. Where's my focus at? I am locked in a cage with another man. I'm supposed to be focused on that person, but no, my mind is everywhere else. Did I pay those bills on time? Oh, let me slip that punch. Oh, did I pay my child support? Let me take that person down. Start elbowing them in the face. Did I leave clothes in the washing machine? Where was my mind at? Where was my focus at? But that's all a part of my movie. Shoot, that's not even the halfway point of my movie. How I got engaged to my wife, how our marriage, our wedding day, being an over the road truck driver after retiring from fighting, living on a truck, living in this van, living in the middle of a field, getting rid of everything we owned, not knowing where we're going, what we're going to do, or anything like that. And then deciding once we get invited by a YouTuber, like, hey, you seem cool. You should come hang out for this biblical feast. Yeah, we should. Even before that, hey, you should start reading the word. Yeah, you're right. I should. Hey, I don't know what you're doing out there, but you ever think of moving out here to Oklahoma to come work with me? Yeah, I should. I was thinking about going to Kansas, trying to figure out something out there. But Oklahoma sounds good. I like it out here. It's good people out here. Let me put in my 2 weeks notice to my job. And then they scramble like, oh, can you give us 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks? I don't know about the 4 weeks, but I could do the 3 weeks as long as you leave me some space on the semi truck so I can move some of my stuff out here at your dime. Okay, we can do that. So yeah, if we could squeeze another couple of weeks out of you, that'll be good. Then turn in my keys, they still want me back. I was doing something good for them. Didn't complain. Just ran hard and fast. Got the deliveries there safe. No complaints. That truck driving life, man, that that was something for you. So many stories, so many interactions, so much drama, so much peace, so much beauty. That alone can become a movie. But then I'm out here living in the country in the middle of a field, enjoying life, had a new baby, living in a camper. Then when my oldest son decides, hey, I want to come visit. Hey, I love it out there. I want to come live out there. We go and we get this piece of land, this 5 acres. We do the best we can with it. Get a machine out here, start clearing it up, make plans to put our these two campers on it, living completely off grid. There is no electricity up at the road. There's no water up at the road. There's no cell phone service here. How would one do something like that? It's been over a year now. Living the off grid life, inspiring people, showing them, like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm adding more solar. I'm doing rain catchment. I got IBC totes filled with water to supply us our nourishment. I got it so I can press a button on my cell phone and the generator will start. As long as the internet is on, which I got Starlink, keeping that connected, keeping that running off of our batteries, I could do stuff that people had never even thought about. That's nowhere near the end of our story. We thought that the next part was going to be we were going to clear out some space right over here, put a shed to home on it. Repeat all the stuff that we did, put insulation in it, figure out the floor plan, slowly get the things that we need, get a wood stove, get another mini split for it, put up some walls, put in some plumbing, put in some showers, put in the toilet, make that home, live out our days here. Won't have the space here to have our own BMF ranch. Maybe get a shipping container over there, make some space, put some mats in there, invite people over, come train there. But was that going to be the reality? Was that going to satisfy the dream? Was that going to be the end point of our movie? We started looking at prices, figuring things out, talking to people, letting people know our intentions, letting our son know, football, let him know our intentions and what we were going to do, figure out how we're going to make this happen. Still completely off grid. Try and keep my wife in high spirits. Living in a camper, even with the slide outs and all of that stuff, you still got single pathway of travel. It's not really a whole lot of zigging and zagging that you can do inside of a camper. We make it as comfortable as we can inside there. But even with that, looking towards a shed to home build out, pricing things out, we figured, oh, that's the way to go. We talked to one of our neighbors, actually our neighbor that helped us get these campers on property. If you go back, what was that, March of 2023, you'll see those videos of us trying to get the campers on in place, but the driveway got all rained out and muddy, using heavy equipment to get things in place. He then tells me, like, hey, back in the woods over there, got a house. You should come see it. I put it off. I was like, I don't know. I'm not in a financial position to actually look at buying a house or anything like that. Maybe we'll just stay here. We'll rough it out. We'll get that shed to home purchased and get it on property and build it out and live life. Finally, a brother had an emergency. He needed a house, a place to go. It's like, well, my neighbor, he says he has a house. Let's go check it out. We go check it out. It's amazing. It would be the dream home in the middle of a forest, has electricity, heat pumps, and all this other stuff. But I was there to show it to my brother because he was in need. I'm not in need. We have just about everything we need here. Then he declined. Then others were like, hey, that's a beautiful house. You, your wife, and your sons deserve that. You should go make that yours. Went and looked at it again. Took my wife and sons over there to look at that. Look at it. They loved it. I prayed about it. The father took it upon himself to speak on the hearts of the owners to say, yeah, let's just talk about the details, make it happen. So we spoke about the details. Details sound good. Contract gets signed tomorrow. Now it's the next act of the movie. We're getting a house.